Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Oblock. And specifically, we're going to be talking about Boss Top. Now, Boss Top has done a lot of interviews out there, man. He's kind of been the defunct Oblock representative. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of been out there just telling the story of Oblock, King Von, their relationship as far as being, family or whatnot, and kind of carried the torch on from there. But some crazy news is being reported out there that Boss Top actually got shot today, man. Now, it's no wonder that, in these holiday weekends, Chicago be turned up, man. You have a lot of things that go down in Chicago, as far as the holiday weekends are concerned. And it's always one of those things that the city is always worried about, right? But it seems like, man, it's still living up to its reputation because on this 4th of July weekend, man, it seems like, man, there was a shooting outside of Oblock and, man, it was going down. Like, several people got shot, Boss Top being one of the people reportedly who got shot as well, man. Now, I haven't seen anything where anybody has been, has been reported as losing their life, but this is crazy to say the least. So before we get to the specifics, though, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this news story coming out of Chicago, man. So from the local Fox 32 News there in Chicago, there's a news story I want to talk about. So the headline says this: 5 shot overnight in Parkway Gardens. Now, for those of you who don't know, Parkway Gardens is actually Oblock. You know what I'm saying? Oblock is a nickname for Parkway Gardens, right? And it looks like 5 people were shot overnight in Parkway Gardens. I guess they was hanging out, doing whatever, and somebody came through and started to spray the place up. Man, this is crazy because it seems like it's one shooter for all of these people who got shot. So let's get to the story. Now, it starts off by saying Chicago. 5 people were struck by gunfire in a mass shooting early Monday in the Parkway Gardens neighborhood. So it looks like it took place early this morning, man. So somebody trying to ring in the 4th of July weekend the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy, man. And I hate to make light of it because people were actually shot. So it's a serious and sad situation. But this is crazy, man. It's wild that every time there's a holiday weekend in Chicago, it's like the city has to sit back and say, okay, we need to prepare for the worst. As opposed to being like, yo, it's a holiday weekend. Everybody's going to be enjoying themselves and having fun, man. It's a sad situation when you think about all that, right? Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, a boy and 4 men were standing outside around 12:13 a.m. in the 6500 block of South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive when gunfire broke out, police said. So it looks like there was a shootout a little past midnight outside of Oblock or whatnot, man, on the MLK Drive. So like somebody just went to shooting, I guess, pulled up or did whatever. So let's get to it. Okay, so the victims were a 17-year-old boy who was shot in the arm and taken to St. Bernard Hospital in fair condition. So it looked like it was a 17-year-old who was shot out there, you know what I'm saying? And he was taken to the hospital. Then there was a 19-year-old man who was shot in the leg and transported to University of Chicago Medical Center in fair condition. So that's a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old who were shot, but they're both in fair condition. Now, another 19-year-old man who was shot in the leg and transported to U of C is in fair condition. So it looked like 3 people in total so far, and then it continues by saying a man in his mid-20s was shot in the knee and taken to U of C in fair condition. Now, I'm not sure if this is Boss Top or not, but there's a lot of people reporting that this is Boss Top. There's also a 30-year-old man who was shot multiple times and transported to U of C in fair condition. So it looks like everybody who was shot, the 20-year-old, the 30-year-old, the 2 19-year-olds, and the 17-year-old, man, they're all in fair condition. So at least that's a positive right there. It looks like nobody's going to lose their life in this shooting. Now, the story also says the gunman may have been traveling in a black SUV, according to Chicago police. Victims and witnesses at the scene refused to provide further details. Obviously, man. Because, Oblock is a hood, man. This is a hood, so ain't nobody really going to be talking and telling about who they saw or what they saw or whatnot like that. Even though, somebody might have got shot, man. It's a sad situation, and I'm not saying it's right. But, you know, as the report says, nobody wanted to provide any details. They just went about their business. Now, no one is in custody as Area 1 detectives investigate. No additional information was immediately available. Now, where people are getting the information that one of the shooting victims was Boss Top, I don't know. That's the official report or the news report from the local news there. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that, you know, a lot of people are talking online and a lot of this information is spreading and people are realizing that Boss Top was one of the victims, man. So it's crazy, man. Now, for those of you who don't know, Boss Top, relative of King Von, also a rapper in his own right, man. He's kind of stayed out of the way of the whole Oblock RICO trial and stuff like that. He didn't get wrapped up in any of that. But it seems like, man, like, regardless of that, man, he's still been dropping music, trying to do his thing in the rap game as far as, you know, him trying to pursue things himself. You know what I mean? And hopefully, man, you know, he gets a speedy recovery if he was shot in this situation. But that's exactly what's being reported out there right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, as the details come out and we get more information, we'll definitely talk more about it because there's a lot going on with Oblock right now. You know what I'm saying? With Muwop and the rest of those cats having their trial, with, you know, everything that's going on as far as, you know, all the backlash from the whole King Von situation. And I hate to say backlash, but I'll say the reaction from what went down. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people haven't let that go. And they've been really talking about, you know, Lil Durk and his involvement in things or whatnot. But, man, when it comes to Boss Top, across the board, it seems like he's got a good, you know what I'm saying, rapport with everybody. Like, people in Atlanta rock with him, you know, people all over rock with Boss Top, you know, and that's why you see him on these big platforms with these huge interviews and people talking to him, trying to understand his story and pretty much the Oblock story. Because like I said, he's their defunct representative right now, man, because nobody really else is out there at that level, you know, really repping for Oblock like that anymore, you know, ever since the passing of King Von. So hopefully, you know, everything goes well with Boss Top, man. I'm hoping, you know, he pulls through and based on these reports, if he's one of the guys who got shot, either the guy who's 30 years old or the guy who's 20 years old, he could be either one of those guys. It still was reported that that person is in fair condition. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, you can assume that Boss Top will be all right, even though he was probably shot, you know, or reportedly shot, I should say. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, man. Especially when you're dealing with these Chicago rappers and this drill rap. You know, it gets crazy like that. But what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think that maybe this report might be wrong and Boss Top wasn't shot and he'll come out and say something about it? Or do you feel like, man, you know, just Chicago and how things go, especially with drill rappers, you know, it's always something going down and, you know, you just got to prepare for it. You know what I mean? Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.